Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Louise Hobart begins now.
Tasmanian GPs are concerned the state's coronavirus vaccine rollout could leave them out of pocket. But the federal government says it's consulting with experts and funding is adequate.
A needle in the arm may cause pain to the patient, but for GP clinics it could hurt their bottom line.
The government's valued a COVID vaccine remuneration under $30, and that's got to cover our doctor giving it, a nurse drawing it up, our admin team booking the appointment, the storage, the complexities in going through it. We just wonder how we're going to make it work.
Federal Senator Jonathan Duniam says COVID-related health items have been listed for a rebate, and while amounts may differ, it is adequate.
There are 18 items relating to COVID vaccines, so every vaccination is going to get a rebate. These dollar values that have been worked up in consultation with health experts.
But Dr Jerome Muir-Wilson says it falls far short of what it should be.
I was thinking it was going to be close to double that, between $50 and $60. Currently, to see a GP for a normal consult, the government will allow a bulk bill rate of $45, but for this they're mandating that we bulk bill.
The federal government is consulting with all stakeholders about how to best roll out the coronavirus vaccine, including setting up clinics and utilising hospital staff, as well as GP practices. The state government reiterating our most vulnerable will be the first in line.
On a risk analysis basis so that we're looking after the people that need it most at the earliest opportunity.
Elizabeth O'Neill, 7 Tasmania News.
Following a large-scale search through bushland in the northwest, police have arrested a man in relation to a frightening incident. For more on this story, let's bring in our reporter Josh Duggan. Josh, what sparked this manhunt?
Good evening, Louise. Police had spent the day searching for the 41-year-old Rosebery man following the attempted abduction and assault of a child last night. The incident, which happened at the Montague campgrounds near Smithton, sparked an air and foot search in the Arthur River and Marrawar areas. He was arrested just after 4 o'clock this afternoon, 5 kilometres north of the Arthur River, after abandoning his car earlier in the day. As well as local officers, the Westpac rescue helicopter and drones were also used. And fortunately, the child involved didn't suffer serious injuries, Louise.
Tasmanians have sweltered through a hot and humid day, with the mercury soaring into the high 30s in parts of the state. The southeast and east coast bearing the brunt of the conditions. Hobart reaching 36 degrees by midday. Fire crews were on standby but avoided any major incidents.
Quite a bit of cloud, and we've had this build-up of humidity over the last couple of days. So the higher humidity is probably sparing us the worst of the fire conditions.
The Weather Bureau says temperatures will ease tomorrow as a cool change passes across the state. Queensland and New South Wales travellers are being encouraged to visit Tasmania through a new multi-million-dollar campaign. With border closures still a possibility, the campaign has been designed to adapt to markets that are open to tourists.
Last week, Tasmania was being spruiked to New Zealand. This week, it's Queensland and New South Wales. Our breathtaking views and relaxed lifestyle a draw card for those coming from big cities.
It's BYO everything. Food, chef, waiter and dish cleaner. We just bring the view.
Mainlanders even encouraged to hop on a penny farthing and explore the regions.
We'll race anything around here.
Business owner Lydia Nettlefold understands when it comes to attracting tourists. Location is everything.
We do get a lot of people that visit us, either going or leaving the Launceston Airport. So we do get a lot of tourists that are coming in and out of the state that visit us, which is great for our business.
The $2.35 million campaign designed to attract as many eyeballs as possible with
catch-up TV, radio, digital, outdoor and social.
A much-needed boost for the tourism industry, hard hit by border closures over the peak Christmas period.
We've had an okay summer, we've got a winter to get through as well, so to get through this support to grow and develop business through a long period of time is really important to the many players and to get them through to the other side.
With the possibility of borders slamming shut at a moment's notice.
We can shift up this campaign or we can restrict it to certain markets based on what is happening in the country at any given time.
A campaign even the state government admits is outside the box.
There's also that quirky nature to the ads as well, so that there's so much to discover about Tasmania.
Elizabeth O'Neill, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmania has said goodbye to the weird and wonderful world of Foma. The festival has wrapped up for 2021, and despite the added challenge of a global pandemic, more than 35,000 punters embraced the iconic event.
High above the land and out on the water. It was the festival that took over the state.
Mainland Schmainland, Tasmania is the first place to put on a festival of this scale.
Foma 2021 going out in style, attracting 35,000 visitors across 2 weekends. 2/3 from Tasmania as closed borders locked out the usual travellers.
Considering the cornucopia of disastrous things that could have hit us, including complete lockdowns or any other kind of disaster, we'll take that. It was a total success.
From guitar battles to a transformed Cataract Gorge. And everything in between. It was a festival like no other. Back for its 13th year, performances started in the north before migrating south. More than 350 artists presenting works across the state's most iconic locations. Safety in the midst of a pandemic, the top priority.
The Foma team went to extraordinary lengths to make sure that there was a varied program. We had 58 venues, so if one went down, others could go forward.
With many international acts unable to attend, locals stepped up to the plate.
When you elevate people to that position, either they have fear or they rise to the occasion. And in this festival, everybody rose to the occasion.
And as 1 year wraps up, organisers are already looking ahead to the next one. Who knows what's in store for 2022? Michelle Wisby, 7 Tasmania News.
Racing and qualifying action have filled the second day at Symmons Plains for Race Tasmania. A capacity crowd of fans were trackside, with the event marking the first major motorsport event here in 2 years.
For motorsport lovers here in Tasmania, it's been a while since they were last trackside.
Probably 2 years ago nearly, yeah.
Oh, the last supercars round here, yeah, seems like a long time ago, yeah.
But Race Tasmania is offering 3 days of roaring action. A COVID capacity crowd on site to watch the wheels turn on this inaugural edition.
We know this is a very motorsport friendly audience, so people in Tassie love their car racing and they've come here in big numbers.
Right, well, I've come into Tasmania. Your fans down here are the most parochial in the country, they really are, you know. I've got goosebumps thinking about them.
Today saw cars take to the track for qualifying and the first races of each category. Many fans were here to see the S5000s.
Why is that one? Oh, just an open wheel, just nuts. Yeah, crazy.
Because they're new and exciting, I suppose.
And specifically this man. James Golding crushing the lap record yesterday.
Absolutely awesome in these S5000 cars around here. Really tricky circuit, even though it's short, but very enjoyable at the same time. We'll see what we can do today and see if we can beat it.
Meanwhile, in the TCRs, James Moffat was also enjoying the course.
Symmons Plains is, even though it can look quite simple on paper, it's always very challenging, quite unique, particularly with the tight 180-degree hairpin.
He's looking to move up the leaderboard after finishing near the tail in practice.
Lap times weren't exactly where we wanted them to be, but anything can happen come qualifying and then particularly in the races.
With racing continuing all day tomorrow, another capacity crowd is expected to roll on in. Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
Known as a man who changed Hobart's skyline, property giant Ali Sultan has died. The well-known developer today remembered as a passionate Tasmanian, never afraid to dream big.
More than a decade ago, examining plans for a new development, Ali Sultan, a man who changed the Hobart skyline.
Ali went where very few would dare. The risk terribly risky to invest in Hobart.
After a long career, the well-known developer died on the weekend. It's understood he suffered a heart attack while walking on Mount Wellington. Those he worked alongside paying tribute.
His contribution to our city was immense, and his legacy will be the gifts that he's given to Hobart through his developments.
The property giant behind major builds from the Wellington Centre to an airport hotel, several car parks and many more.
Ali was a great bloke, fantastic character, a big heart, always talked about Hobart, always wanted to catch up, have a coffee.
He was a really gentle person and a kind man, but also one with a great sense of enterprise and ambition for creating new things.
After immigrating to Australia, he arrived in Tasmania in the early 70s, operating the corner store at Claremont. Today, his devastated son, Sultan, saying his father was a pathfinder and a first mover, prepared to risk it all to build his vision. And he was a man who was destined to leave a positive mark on the city. His company, Sultan Holdings, paying tribute to its founder, saying as per his wishes, the business will continue. Michelle Wisby, 7 Tasmania News.
A 145-run opening partnership between Matthew Wade and Darcy Short has powered the Hobart Hurricanes to victory. The 7-run win over the Sydney Sixers now makes the Canes one of the favourites to snatch a finals berth for BBL 10.
Needing a win to keep their finals destiny in their own hands, all the pressure was on the Hurricanes heading into last night's clash against the ladder-leading Sixers.
They can't leave it to the Renegades in their last and 14th match of the tournament. They need to win tonight.
But nobody told their out-of-sorts openers Darcy Short and Matthew Wade, who finally played with freedom.
Oh! What about that?
The pair riding their luck all the way to a 145-run partnership.
It'll take some catching. Oh, no.
But as Wade departed for 86, the Canes suddenly lost their mojo.
Straight up in the air.
8 for 43 fell in the final 34 balls, leaving them defending a lesser total than they'd hoped for. The Sixers, in reply, were 3 down in the first 5 overs, with Scott Boland making early breakthroughs.
Give it out!
A 78-run innings from Jordan Silk kept them in the hunt, as did some heavy bails.
Once and bang. How does that happen?
The consistent wickets falling made for a tough chase, just short by 7 runs.
But don't worry, the Hurricanes would have been nervous.
The Hurricanes, now sitting in 5th place, need a win to ensure a finals berth. But if results go their way, they could finish as high as 3rd. Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmania's 2 AFL pre-season fixtures are in doubt after coronavirus concerns forced the league to alter the schedule. The Community Series has been cut back from 2 rounds to 1 in a bid to limit interstate travel before the regular season begins. North Hobart Oval was due to host North Melbourne and Adelaide on February 28th, while a match between Hawthorn and Port Adelaide was pencilled in for UTAS Stadium on Saturday, March 6th. A revised fixture will be released at a later date. The Launceston Tornadoes has welcomed back Mariah Payne to play for the team in the upcoming NBL 1 season. The 24-year-old has spent the past 4 years training in the US after scoring a scholarship to study over there.
I think I'm going to be that person that's going to mentor the younger ones because we are a very young team this year, but we have a lot of young talent coming through.
For all of the young female basketballers in Tassie, Mariah's story is something that they can also do. It's certainly not easy. You know, Mariah represented Tasmania through under-16s all the way through under-20s, played for Australia.
The NBL 1 season kicks off on April 17. And Lee Holdsworth has continued his scorching start to the TCR Australia Series, having topped every session so far. He shook off an early challenge from Jordan Cox to win race 1. Joey Mawson took out the first race of the S5000s, having started second on the grid. Racing continues tomorrow, and if you can't get trackside, all the action is live and free on 7 Mate from 11 a.m. tomorrow.
Good evening everyone. Cloudy but a warm day right across the state today, with Hobart the top reaching 37 degrees, 32 in Burnie, Launceston 31 and Devonport 26. Friendly beaches also reaching that top today of 37, Flinders Island and Bushy Park 36, 35 in Grove and St Helens, Lyowini 29 and 23 in Strawn. Mid-level cloud can be seen about the north, northwest and southeast today, while lower level cloud sits over the southwest. Across Australia, mid to high level cloud can be seen streaming across the southeast of the country from the east of South Australia, while the frontal cloud band lies to the west of Tasmania. Tomorrow's chart shows a cold front crossing Tasmania and a high pressure system in the Bight, while a trough extends from central Australia into the southeast. Northwest to southwesterly winds tomorrow 10 to 20 knots, increasing during the day to west to southwesterly 20 to 30 knots and 30 to 40 knots in the south. And there is a gale wind warning current from Wineglass Bay to Low Rocky Point for west to southwesterly winds. A strong wind warning is also current from Sandy Cape to Cape Portland and for Storm Bay and Frederick Henry and Norfolk Bay. Showers in the south tomorrow with Hobart reaching 22, 21 in Adventure Bay, Tarraleah 17. 90% chance of rain in Launceston, although still reaching 27, 23 in Devonport, easing showers and 25 in Bridport. 21 in Burnie tomorrow, showers and 18 in Strawn, windy in Marrawar, also reaching 18. And showers also in the east with St Helens and Whitemark both 22 and Swansea a top of 21. And the UV tomorrow is extreme 11s right across the state. Looking on to Wednesday now, fine apart from possible showers about the west and far south in the morning. Mainly fine on Thursday with east to southeasterly winds, and on Friday, rain developing about the northwest during the afternoon. 27 in Perth tomorrow, 35 in Canberra, windy and 36 in Sydney and 31 in Brisbane and Darwin. And currently Hobart, showers and 23, rain and 24 in Launceston and 21 in Devonport, also with showers. And Lou, let's hope this rain clears tomorrow for Australia Day.
And that's all your news for now. I'll be back later with updates. Thanks for joining us. Good night.